These are the moments that tell you just how bad you want it. A storm blowing in. 1,400 feet of straight up vertical. Just a thin rope and some bolts between you and the valley floor. This is big wall rock climbing. I've trained a week to prepare for this moment. Now it's time to find out if I have what it takes to take it to the top. When you grow up in Louisiana, dreaming of climbing a mountain is like dreaming of going to the moon. I had fun as a kid, playing baseball, vacationing with the family, and riding my bike. But I craved something more. I just didn't know what. I finally got a taste of adventure at 18 when I scaled Africa's tallest peak, Mount Kilimanjaro. This was what I'd been looking for. As a mountaineer, I've conquered the 7 summits, including Mount Everest, a few times. But now I'm looking for new ways to activate. So join me as I travel the globe, attempting the wildest and most intense challenges imaginable, all in the name of adventure. I am Joby Ogwyn. I am the Adventurist.
Take us to the summit, bro. Yes!
When I was 17 years old, fresh out of high school, I hopped in my car in Shreveport, Louisiana, and drove west by myself to see the country. The first place I went to was Yosemite National Park. I can remember just how grand it all seemed, the walls of granite surrounding the valley, and how beautiful the place really was. And it was the first time I ever saw the Lost Arrow Spire. Now, 16 years later, I am back in Yosemite for the first time since that trip. Back then, I would stand in the valley and look at the climbers that were up on the walls. It was the first time I'd ever seen a rock climber, and I vowed that I would be back here someday to climb these big walls myself. Now I'm back to climb the Lost Arrow Spire in the Mecca of climbing, Yosemite National Park. I've climbed Everest, but wall climbing the Lost Arrow Spire is different. It is straight up a sheer cliff, and one slip of the foot can mean sudden death. In 5 days, I'm going to get to know the gear, learn techniques of wall climbing, and practice. Then I'll spend at least 3 days on the face of the Lost Arrow Spire. If all goes well and we get to the summit, I'll do a Tyrolean traverse across a rope off the back. It sounds hard, and the truth is, it's harder than it sounds. And I'll climb tethered to another climber, which could double the chance that human error will send you plummeting to the canyon floor. Each year, climbers from around the world descend upon Yosemite Valley to test themselves in a place that many believe has the best rock climbing in all the world. Unfortunately, not all leave alive. Jesse McGahee is Yosemite's climbing ranger. He, more than anyone, knows that the Lost Arrow Spire is not a place for the ill-prepared, careless, or just unlucky. Each year, people die on these cliffs, and I don't want to be one of them. Ranger McGahee explains to me how most climbers get in trouble and what I need to do to not only achieve my goal, but to stay out of harm's way.
In rock fall, we've had a couple serious rock falls that have actually killed climbers, and then some other not so serious rock falls that just climbers being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Bad luck.
And bad luck. The largest chunk of our fatalities is just from user error. It's from mistakes using your gear, mistakes using your systems, and so on. We had a team of Swedish climbers over here at Manure Pile, and they were doing the Nutcracker, and they were a team of 3 climbers, and they were switching out ropes for another climber to actually start leading. And one of the climbers actually unclipped or unhooked his friend, his partner, and so when that guy went to weight the anchor, he wasn't hooked to anything, and he fell 400 feet to his death. And obviously unavoidable.
Human error. It happens,
error.
yeah.
So
accident.
It's the biggest chunk of our fatalities is just due to misuse of gear and other types of human error.
I don't want to have my adventure or my life ended by human error, so I'd better get cracking on my training.
How you doing?
Joby.
Joby Scott.
Nice to meet you. You're my man.
All right. Yeah, you're here to do a wall climb, huh?
Right on, yeah.
I'm a mountaineer, but wall climbing is a completely different sport. I'm coming in as a novice, which is why Scott Stowe, big wall instructor at Yosemite Climbing School, is going to take me to class.
Rest your finger, right?
I'm going to be climbing while tied to my partner, and if one of us falls, the other has to catch him with a piece of equipment called a belay device. By grabbing the rope with this device, one climber is able to catch the other if he falls.
See, on this climb here, you're not going to have
Get up there. It's going to be really nice to get up there. Once we get up on the spire, there will be areas that we won't be able to free climb using our hands and feet. In those instances, we'll use a rope and a device called an ascender, or Jumar. The ascender slides up the rope and locks onto it, allowing you to pull yourself up on it.
make it longer.
At the same time, your feet go into slings attached to the ascenders, which when you get the hang of it, lets you walk up the rope like a ladder.
You know, it probably feels like you're not really going right. Get yourself out of those. You can swing around on those things a little bit.
I'm getting it. I see what you're saying now. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to get where my weight is right here.
Plumb line.
Vertical, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, I know I'm taking it slow. I'm just kind of watching everything that I'm doing, but no, I'm getting it. It is more of a rhythm to get where you're going.
Yeah.
You're making progress.
Yeah.
I can see that. I just wanted to make sure I had kind of the whole system in my mind before I started horsing up on it.
Pitch. You Jumar up, you're kind of stranded out down direction. Okay. A little bit longer.
For a novice like myself, learning to climb is awkward to say the least. So when you see someone like Scott shimmy up the wall, it's impressive. He makes it look easy, fluid, and even beautiful. Certainly not how I imagine myself on the wall, but style points aren't what I'm after. I'm here to learn and practice how not to get myself killed.
God damn.
Get that piece out before you go any higher.
In just a few days, I'll hopefully be attempting a summit on what can simply be described as a beast of a wall. The Lost Arrow Spire is world famous to rock climbers, with a summit more than 3,000 feet above the valley floor and a vertical face 1,400 feet straight up, or down if you're a pessimist. It wasn't climbed ground to summit until 1947, and over the years, at least 3 people have died trying. I don't plan on adding to that tally. A rookie like me can't do this alone. Enter Lincoln Else. Lincoln is absolutely fearless. He lives on these cliffs. He's been climbing them since he was 12. He's completed dozens of big wall routes on nearly every feature the valley has to offer. He's an accomplished speed climber, free climber, and has held the national park's position of climbing ranger for 5 years. If anyone can get me to the top of the Lost Arrow Spire, it's Lincoln.
So the Lost Arrow Spire, that's where we're headed. If you look up to the right of the falls, you can see that whole separated rock that's coming out from the face. So the biggest thing that you need to wrap your head around is once we get to the base of the wall and start climbing, from there until maybe 3, maybe 4 days later, depending on how long it takes us, from the base to the top, we're committed.
Right.
We're tied in the whole time, and we're in a vertical world from the base all the way up.
Yeah.
Totally changes everything. So during those 3 or 4 days, you're never untied. You're going to be completely locked in the whole time. You're going to be accountable for me, and I'm going to be accountable for you.
Right. This kind of climbing is so vastly different. Just that one point that you just made about being connected. We're connected together. I'm not used to that, so that's really going to be something for me to kind of wrap my mind around it. Your life in my hands, my life in your hands. It's a little different experience in climbing. I'm used to being alone by myself and not connected to ropes or much less anybody else. So I'll have to settle into that a little bit for sure.
The route we will take is detailed on a topographical map and will show us each and every pitch or resting point we will encounter. Pitches vary in length, but typically run from 100 to 200 feet. Once the lead climber reaches the top of a pitch, the bottom climber moves up the wall, cleaning or gathering all the protection devices in the process, a process that continues until you reach the top.
I hope that I'll be able to contribute on every section that I can. So.
Well, you're gonna have to, because I'm not doing it by myself.
No.
We're gonna be, like we said, we're tied together, and even though I've spent more time on this kind of climbing, you know, I'm not gonna be able to do this without a partner.
Right.
So we're both gonna be pulling our fair share, don't you?
Absolutely.
Like he said, it's a vertical world. 3 days with no solid ground beneath us. Just me and Lincoln, tied together, essentially with each other's lives in our hands. This is going to be one hell of a challenge.
I think the biggest thing that is going to hit him is just the challenge of living up there. It's really easy to build yourself up or to psych yourself up for a short climb, but to go up and spend 3 or 4 days just living on the wall. You can't drop anything. Everything's tied in at all times. When you want something, a jacket, a t-shirt or whatever, you got to dig in the bottom of a haul bag to get it. You're in a rope cluster all the time. It's fine for a little while, but then after a couple of days, I think he's going to start just getting worn down by that headache.
Added to the headache, the threat of weather. If a storm blows in as we assault the summit, it might be too dangerous to go on and too dangerous to go back. Pray for good weather. It's time to activate. The morning of the climb, Lincoln begins to sort our gear, including what seems like enough carabiners to chain an elephant. Forget the elephant. I pray they keep me chained to the wall.
Once we leave the ground, it's basically a vertical desert up there. There's no water. We're gonna have to carry all of our water with us. Now, it sounds like a lot, but most people manage to drink about a gallon per person per day. So we're looking at 16 pounds per day for 5 days. We're basically looking at 80 pounds of just water by itself. So we got 80 pounds of water, plus all this, plus all of our food. We're looking at probably maybe 200 pounds of gear total. So basically, we're bringing a third person with us, a 200-pound...
A big guy.
A big guy.
He can't help us at all.
Exactly. He can't help, and we got to haul him all the way up the wall.
Right.
Lincoln said the gear was heavy, but it's heavier than I thought. Just in the first few minutes of walking, I'm having trouble getting balanced. Then, a tiny slip puts our whole climb in jeopardy. I've landed on my thumb, and it immediately begins to swell. Trouble. You don't get to the top of the Lost Arrow Spire without two opposable thumbs.
This is what's up. 5 minutes into my walk up to the base of the route, I have this huge pack, very heavy. And these rocks are really slippery with all this lichen and vegetation on the top. It just rained and I just lost my footing when I was trying to turn a little bit. And I smashed not smashed, I'd say, put my hand out to catch myself. And as heavy as the pack was, it just kind of forced the back of my thumb all the way back. And I think I tore something up pretty good in my hand, which for what I'm doing right now is not a good thing.
For now, we go on, but I'm not sure my torn up thumb won't come into play later when it really counts.
That ledge about 500 feet up, that's where we'll spend tonight.
Yeah, now I can really, getting close to it, I can really start to break down the climb, just like what we were talking about down below. 1, 2, 3 to the summit. There's very big defined ledges once you get a little closer to it. Doesn't seem so big from down by your house. Yeah, it's pretty big from here. Being here at the base of the wall is really putting the zap on my head a little bit because it's big and it's really overwhelming right now. but I'm looking forward to getting up on the face. I think that's going to help me just to kind of start getting into the groove with Lincoln and working and really doing things. But it's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. I'm really just blown away at how beautiful the weather is and the light on the face. It's going to be really fantastic to get up there.
It took us nearly 4 hours to get to the base of the Lost Arrow, and in a few minutes, we will start our journey up the spire's face. Once we enter the vertical world, there's no turning back.
This is it, man. This is the start.
Yeah, enough talk, you know, time to activate.
I mean, cameras or no cameras, this is where you and I are actually climbing a big wall. So, you down with it? Last chance to back out.
No. Of course, there's no backing out. I'm just ready to get started, man. This is going to be great. Be a little patient with me getting these first pitches, and I think I will have it dialed in.
No worries.
As Lincoln leaves the Earth, I can't help but feel excited, but also a little, what the hell am I getting into? Hurt hand or no hurt hand, here goes nothing.
Off belay, Joby!
Okay.
Woohoo! Safe!
"150 vertical feet up, and I've officially started my first wall climb. Adrenaline is a great painkiller.
Sweet! Good job, bro. How's the hand feeling? It's working.
I got no pain. Yeah, forgot all about that. It's still jacked, but I'm not feeling it.
Now, first things first, once you're up here, easiest thing to do, remember, we want to clip you in with a couple things. Easiest thing is this is your end of the rope, right?
Right.
Tied in solid on that end. We just quickly take that, and let's just, we'll put a little length on it so you're not too short.
Okay.
And we'll just take that with a figure
What
eight
Lincoln
on
is
the
doing is tying the rope to the wall so I don't fall. I'll be belaying or securing rope from here, and the wall will be my anchor as Lincoln again leads the climb.
and just clip that into something. We'll put that right into here.
Cool.
And we're gonna have to rearrange these in a minute, but now you know, okay, no matter what, you're falling 2 feet. You're not going anywhere.
Right.
The climbing continues throughout the day. 6 hours into it, 350 vertical feet up, we hit what Lincoln promises to be the first big hurdle, the off-width pitch. An off-width is a crack that's too big to hold on to with just your hands, and too small to get into for your whole body. Boy, was he right.
You want action? I got action for you.
Off-width climbing requires wedging arms, hands, and legs through an awkward-shaped crevice in the rock. Harder to navigate through, but harder to fall off of as well. We inch along at a snail's pace. It is excruciatingly painful and frustrating.
That was some serious climbing.
Well, I don't get frustrated by many things. That was pretty frustrating, that one section there. I just...
Well, that's the most frustrating kind of climbing, where you get that awkward, like you can't quite fit in there. And
really awkward situation to be in. Takes a lot of, in the end, just a lot of power, just kind of horsing yourself up in that crack like that. Never done anything like even remotely close to that. I can tell you one thing. By the time we get to the top, I'm gonna be carved out of wood. Total
complete blowout. The last couple hours, this off-width crack, they call it, where you can't get your whole body really inside. You can just get about halfway in, and you're just shimmying up. The frustrating part of it is you're only making an inch or two every time. I tended to use my shoulders a lot and try to jack my shoulders up and push off a little bit. There just really wasn't anything for me to put my feet on and push off. As I got where I was doing more and more of it, seemed like it got more difficult, but I got into at least a little bit of a rhythm because I kind of knew what to expect then. I tried a few different things and I found some different things that were working. But the last 30, 40 feet took everything from me. I'm really glad to be up here where I can stand for a little bit. My hand's pretty torn up. The only good thing I have to say is that my hand injury when I smashed it this morning is still really swollen up. I can see that it's bruised up here, but it's not really causing me a lot of problems. And probably 4 days from now, I won't be able to even open and close it. But right now, I'm making it work. So you just got to keep it going. With dusk closing in, our climbing is done for the day. As the sun sets, there's no time for sightseeing because we're losing light. Before we do, Lincoln and I must set up our hotel room, an artificial platform approximately 7 by 4 feet called a portaledge, hanging nervously 500 feet up the wall.
How you doing over there, Joby?
I'm doing good, dude. This is great. I feel very secure and comfortable. And
why do I not believe you? I can't listen to that with a straight face. And
I said right now. I feel
right now, okay,
really,
all right.
Yeah, I don't know how long a night this is going to be, but I've had some long ones for sure. And it's getting windy and it's cold up here, and I know I'm hanging off a cliff, so it's going to be interesting.
Well, the wind may suck, unfortunately, but at least with bivy sacks and pads and stuff, we should be pretty warm.
Yeah,
so.
no, it's about as comfortable as you can get for what we're doing. There's no doubt about that. So.
If you need to take a leak or move around, whatever, go for it. I mean, I'll be doing the same. I'll probably have to get up at some point in the middle of the night. So.
All right. Well,
but get comfy. You do your best to get some sleep.
All right, man. Good night.
Good night. Morning.
Yeah.
Did you actually get any sleep, you think?
I know I did, but the only reason I know is because I had some funky dreams.
Nice.
So, not bad, just kind of strange. I remember them.
I kept thinking I wasn't sleeping, but then I definitely wasn't lying there all night.
No, me neither. Me neither. In any case, I got some good rest, I think. So I kept waking up when the wind was kind of lifting our ledge up a little bit.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. What was really strange is to hear it, how loud it was. I mean, it was loud, blasting all night. Every now and then, it seemed like the wind would catch these little things or some parts of the ledge, and you'd hear it kind of humming a little bit.
Sounds like a freight train coming down the...
Yeah, it was like we're parked next to a freight train.
Well, I hope today plays out like yesterday and we get just some good, clean, calm sun for a while.
Yeah.
We should.
Good weather meant that on our first day, we covered 4 pitches, 500 vertical feet. Over the next 2 days, Lincoln's plan for us is much more ambitious. The forecast for the next few days is iffy. Periods of snow and sleet are possible, which will turn the wall into a vertical skating rink. The less time we spend on the wall, the better. For now, I just focus on not making a stupid mistake that gets one of us killed. My responsibility now? Hang below Lincoln and react in a split second if he slips.
One of the most incredible things about what I'm doing right now, compared to anything else I've ever done, is just the fact that I'm not holding on to anything. I'm totally trusting my equipment. I'm anchored in here. I know that I'm not going anywhere. So it gives me the ability to really zero in on Lincoln and watch his every single movement. It requires a lot of patience, but I've got to watch him because it'll only be a split second if some piece of equipment fails, and I've got to catch him.
Lincoln is hoping to get us to the 10th pitch by the end of the day, and then into position to get off this wall on the 3rd day. Like I said, the less time exposed here on the wall, the better.
So this crack ran out,
Yeah,
so I gotta swing around and get us into another one over here.
okay,
So just hold me there for a sec.
I got you. Go for it.
Lincoln is changing game plans. He's been climbing one crack in the rock and needs to change to the one 30 feet to his right, which requires a nifty move called a pendulum.
Woo! Nice.
He makes it look easy. Now it's my turn.
Set up.
Line's fixed, you're good to jug.
It's a whole new world over here, man.
Yeah, now you're in the shady land. You're around the corner world.
It really is. You disappear for a while now. I know where you're at.
For each pitch we ascend, there is the part of climbing that is unglamorous, and that's the hauling of the gear. The 90-pound bags that Lincoln and I hauled up to the base continue up the wall with us.
This is definitely way harder than actually climbing the pitches. Just getting all our gear up here.
Though as the trip goes on, the weight of the bags lessens as we consume food and water. Nonetheless, it's back-breaking pain-in-the-ass stuff. Lincoln has this field dialed in, and there is no doubt that he is the right man to help me get this big wall done. After 3 days, we have the summit within our sights. We have climbed 13 pitches, almost 1,400 feet, straight up the face of the Lost Arrow Spire. We sit nearly 3,000 feet above the valley floor. Tomorrow, we'll head for the summit. Day 4, the day we assault the summit. Our good weather luck is about to change for the worse. Today's forecast, sleet and freezing rain, just in time for the big finish. Also for 3 days, it has been Lincoln that has done the hero climbing, taking the lead with me in tow. Today is Summit Day, and today, both of those things will change.
Looking out where we're at right now, you can't. This is dynamite. I mean, this is what I came here for, is to get this perspective and be up here like this. So, pretty unreal.
No more time to admire the view. Weather is moving in, and we have to hurry. We hustle to get our gear together and prepare for the final push to the summit.
So Joby's cleaning the second to last pitch. Last pitch he's gonna have to clean. And then he's got one pitch to the summit. We're gonna get him on the sharp end for the final bit here. Summit's just up above me, not that far, you can see it. So it's a good bolt ladder, a couple placements, and he'll be topping out. He's coming up from below me now. One pitch to the top, right there. I can see the tip from where I am. How far is it? Pretty short pitch, you probably got about 60 feet or so. You're on it, man. This one's got your name all over it. That's the top right there. Like probably 60, 70 feet up.
Okay.
Congratulations, your jugging days are over. So we just got to get you off onto this belay.
All right.
And then, oh yeah, we got clear blue skies there, and I'm seeing a hole over here. Everything else is socked in, so let's get off this thing before we see anything worse.
In a matter of minutes, what had started as a decent morning quickly took a turn for the worse. There's sleet, snow, and ice on top of us, just in time for my move to the summit. It's potentially deadly. We're just 70 feet from the summit, and at an elevation of 4,000 feet, we have to go, and go now.
I'm cold.
You'll get warm as soon as you get moving, for sure.
All right.
Okay, so I got you on belay. You're looking good. You can go ahead and unclip you here because I got you on the gree-gree. Let's get you moving so you'll get a little warmer. Take us to the summit, bro. Good to go.
I wanted this turn on the sharp or lead into the climb, but with this kind of exposure on the rock and freezing and slick conditions, I'm beginning to question how wise my decision was. With every step, my intensity level rises, and as I clip myself into place, I realize there's no room for error. Nowhere to fall except possibly the valley floor.
Me?
I'm really focused on everything I'm doing right now as to not make any
mistakes. I can't afford to unclip or clip the wrong thing at this point. My hands are a little numb from that cold wind, so it's twice as hard to hold on. But I'm making it. Yes! Okay, so I'm kind of at a point where I've run out of bolts and safety, so I'm gonna have to basically free climb this last little bit to the summit. Looks like it's not that far, but there's nothing to clip into, so I'm gonna have to really watch my step and make it count. This is it, the last steps to the top. Summit, finally. Oh. Nice. Oh my God. This summit is really, really an exact small pinnacle, just like I thought it would be. You can only see one part of the spire from further down in the valley. Now I can see that it really is a super sharp, only room really enough for me to stand up here barely. And all of these massive cliffs that I've been hanging over my head for the last 3 days are now everything unfolding below me. What an incredible feeling. It's hard to explain and put into words the feelings of struggling day after day after day in your life, hanging in the balance and working as a team with Lincoln. I just can't wait to get him up here as well. Thank him for helping me to get up here. This is just one of the best feelings that you could possibly have as a human being, is being able to put everything, every ounce of your being and fortitude into trying to pull something off, and then in the end, being able to do it.
No time to celebrate. Lincoln has to catch up. Then we have to get off this rock safely before we're iced in.
Bring it, Jack. You got it. Yo! Bring it on home, baby. Yeah. Dude, we're there. 3, 2, 1.
Congratulations,
Way
man.
to go, man. We did it.
One Yosemite Big Wall down.
I'm glad we're done. And we finished just in the nick of time.
Just in the nick of
Just starting
time.
to snow on us a little bit.
I was just seeing some drops.
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
Oh, man, that last bit was intense. It was great, though. I'm glad you put me on the sharp end of the rope. It's something I've always wanted to do.
Awesome. Well, that's the summit. Day's not quite over. We still got to get back over to the rim.
Yeah, we got a little more intensity to go, so let's get it sorted out.
Yeah, let's try to beat this weather. Here.
For us, there's only one way off the spire. 150-foot upside-down shimmy across a rope stretched nearly 1,500 feet from the ground. It's called a Tyrolean traverse, and for me, it's even scarier than what I'd already done. And I'll be doing it in the sleet.
See what you're gonna do. Shuffle around so your weight's like this.
Slide off.
And your head's pointing that way, and your feet pointing this way. And that's the
And then once you lower me down, that's when I start to clip in.
Yeah, well, you can clip in whenever you feel like it. You want to get in here?
Okay.
So I think there's a little step down you can kind of get onto, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hop on there.
Oh, it's on there. I'm trying to get out of the way a little bit. There we go.
All right. What a dramatic ending to a really incredible, fantastic expedition. My first on a big wall, certainly not gonna be my last. I owe that pretty much to Lincoln Els, my climbing partner. He really made it happen for me. I'm just overwhelmed. I feel a lot like I felt on most of my adventures and expeditions I've done all over the world. It's pretty much the same. You feel destroyed physically, mentally, and kind of emotionally, just kind of shattered. But you have such a warm, good, concentrated feeling in your heart and your soul after something like this that you just can't put it into words. That's what life is all about. This is what life is all about.